Okay, well, obviously, really disappointed that we didn't win. Disappointed to lose. It's not ever something that we're going to get content with. Give Dave and that team credit. I think it was a really well played football game. Both teams played hard. You look at the stat lines and penalties to turnovers. It was a good football game. It came down to thought we started well in the first half, offensively and defensively. We let them get on a little bit of run before half offensively, but then our defense kind of reestablished themselves in the third quarter. We didn't have a great third quarter offensively. Really liked how we responded, went down and scored to have a really good touchdown drive to take the lead, then got the turnover and really ran some clock, ran the football. Physically, we had done a good job of taking control of the game at 38-24 with 8 minutes to go. And, you got to give them credit. They grinded, they didn't quit. Dave's a competitor, their quarterback, their players are competitors. That's a good football team. I felt like going into the season it was a top 25 football team. But we got to learn how to finish. We're up 38-24 with 8 or 9 minutes to go. They're only going to get probably 2 possessions. And we got to either get a stop or when we get the ball back, not give it back to them. We didn't do either one. And then we find ourselves in overtime. And, obviously in the second overtime offensively, we weren't able to put the ball in the end zone. And then on top of it, we missed the field goal. So we kind of made it easy on them, didn't make them have any game pressure there. So disappointed for our players, disappointed for our fans. For 3.5 quarters, we were the better team. And then we didn't finish. And if you want to win, you got to finish. You can't start the job and not finish the job. So this year's team's a new team. We're a really young football team. We knew that. I was really proud of how they competed. That was a good football game. And for 3.5 quarters, they did everything they needed to do. We have to learn that you got to finish the job. And this is a new team. This team can't say, well, we finished in the past. No, this is a new team. We have to learn how to finish. Against a team with 16, 17 returning starters, whatever the number is they have, they showed that resilience and we didn't finish the job. So we'll respond well. If we want to have a good football team, all our goals are still there. I think we can have a good team. I think we'll keep getting better as long as we stick together, and we'll see how we respond. This is really the first big moment of adversity for this year's team.
What was it that they were doing offensively in the past game that really stood out to you?
We did it's going to probably be, unfortunately, a recurring theme for 3 quarters plus. We really stopped the run pretty well. And that's important. As talented as they are throwing the football, you got to make them one-dimensional. Look, when they got down 2 scores, you get more aggressive. You think you got 4 downs. You call the game differently. And what we weren't able to do those last 2 drives, we weren't able to get any pressure without pressuring. Like, we would have to blitz, and they're so good one-on-one, you got to decide, do you blitz and put your guys in one-on-one? And, even their the first touchdown, the one thing they could do is score fast. And we were kind of making him take time, and then he scrambles and throws it up, and guy gets behind Zay and, makes a great play. That hurt us because they scored on a 50-yard play instead of taking another couple minutes to score, if they were going to score. Make them execute. But what we weren't able to do is get enough pressure, and their playmakers are so good, whether you're man zone, and Sawyer's a solid, he's a veteran quarterback, he's a winner, he's tough. You give him 3-4 seconds, he's going to find somebody. And so, it's tough. I felt for our defense because they're trying to get that stop, and we just weren't able to get the pressure without potentially going to an all-out blitz. And I think that's what gave them time to make those plays. And then that last drive, playing coverage, credit them. They ran the ball and spit a few runs on us, which really made it hard.
What do you say to the players after the game to try to get their minds right, going, ignore this and move on?
Yeah, it's tough. It's raw. No different for our fans, for me, or anybody. Right after you lose, they don't have any time to process it in that locker room any more than I really had before I'm talking to you. But so you don't say too much. They're all disappointed. It was a good football game. That's a really good team. I think we have the potential to be a good team. This would have been a big deal for us to finish the job, and in that momentum and that growth, we didn't do it. Told them to keep their head up. You find out everything you need to know about any team when they finally face real adversity. We got 42 of 85 new players. our guys like each other. They work hard. They're close. But like now, how are we? You find out who your friends are when like things are hard. You find out who really is in and out when things are hard, right? If we win today, great. That's the goal. But like, okay, now what? Like, so we're gonna learn. I mean, and you don't like to do it through losing and failure. Failure is where growth happens. Growth doesn't often happen that much in success. And so I just told them the key will be how do we respond? Hold your head up. We're a good football team. We have a chance to keep getting better. Don't point any fingers. It's nobody's fault. We win together. We lose together. We had the chance to finish the game. We didn't do it. So how is this team going to respond? How will this group respond? Will probably determine the quality of season we can have. I think we can continue getting better and better and have a good football team. This doesn't take any goals off the table for us. We lost week 3 last year to a really good team that ended up winning 11 games, and we responded well. How's this team going to respond? That's really was the message.
Thank you, Coach. Colin was so good last year. You have 3 misses today. Just kind of, what have you seen or heard about kind of how some of those balls were kicked, I guess?
Yeah, I mean, the 51-yarder was slight. I mean, the wind had kind of died, but it was into the side that was harder to kick. He just missed it, hit it hard. The last one, 57, I mean, he had the distance. He can make that. So, I mean, look, to be critical of a kicker for missing a 57-yarder is probably hard. It would have been awesome, obviously. The one in overtime's got to be made. I mean, that's got to be made, right? And so, but again, it's not on him. We can finish drives, we can get stops. So I haven't said anything to him yet, but we'll get back at it.
Kevin looked like he got a little shaken up in overtime. Is he okay?
Yeah, I mean, I hope, as far as I know. He scrambled and Kevin showed a lot of toughness today. He was super efficient. He ran it, I guess, 14 times. We didn't want him to run it that many times. Of course, probably half of those were him taking off. But he was finishing runs. I mean, he ran the guy over and just got up, and I don't know if he stepped funny or I don't know. It's just his ankle, whether he rolled it or jammed it. I even asked him if he wanted a timeout. He said he was good. I'll have to look at it, but I don't think it affected his throw on the last play or anything. So we'll see. I mean, they'll get him looked at, and hopefully it's just part of playing a physical football game.
There's nothing you can really do about it, but that play with the ref.
Yeah, I mean, look. He's trying to get out of the way. He's a good guy. He feels as bad about it as we do, and he learned Kevin's pretty quick when he changed his direction. But it's unfortunate. I mean, we had that opportunity that the drive was looking really good. We were starting to run the football and had some tempo going, and actually had a shot play, and we just had the wrong release, and so Kevin was trying to flush and. Obviously, lose like 10, 15 yards, whatever we did, really killed us. And that's when we missed the long field goal. And then we got the turnover on the punt, and we weren't able to punch that in. Those two scenarios offensively hurt us. So.
TJ Harden goes for 115 and 3 touchdowns. Is this the kind of performance you envisioned when you brought him in?
Yeah, we knew he would be the physical downhill guy that we needed, and he's not slow, obviously. He had a 40-yard touchdown run. It was good to get D'Amico Green back, the freshman. I think he got a few carries. I think he'll get better and better. Derek and Chris didn't get a ton of carries. I mean, it's a physical downhill game. They have big guys, and it just the way the game went, we made the decision right after halftime pretty much to stick with TJ because we felt like we didn't run the ball poorly in the first half. The stats wouldn't have told you that, but like we had it blocked how we wanted. We had creases. We didn't quite hit them like we needed to. We had the lead, but we knew we needed to stay patient and balanced the way they play, and they keep 2 safeties all the time. I mean, that's why we had 44 runs and 23 passes, and that was a good formula to win this game. We just didn't finish, and then we really got going into the third quarter, fourth quarter, and I think you saw what we needed to do to win. We just didn't finish the job. But TJ was good. He was downhill. He did get, it hurt us a little. He was banged up and tired that last drive when we were still up 7 that we needed to stay on the field, and he'd probably blame me. I should have ran the ball on 3rd and 4. We knew we'd get 0. We'd have Melo 1-on-1. We were going to try to win the game, and TJ was banged up from the 2 carries before, and just I don't know. But the way we were running the ball, probably should have ran it and maybe even gone for it on 4th down, but we didn't. So, but I was proud of TJ.
you walk us through your thought process of the point after attempt in the first overtime, going for the extra point rather than 2 points?
Yeah, I mean, we're playing at home. We're playing at home. They just scored. We scored. I thought about it when they had the ball. I thought, okay, if they score, we score. You go for 2 because we had struggled to stop them, in the fourth quarter and overtime. And I thought about it. But I believe in our guys, and we're at home, and we were going to go to the other end, and we were going to get the ball. The way we've been running the football, felt good about it. We needed a better run on our first down call in the second overtime to not get us kind of behind the sticks. So I think I would do it over the same way again. And you know me, I've gone for 2 before for the win. I'm not opposed to doing that. I just didn't feel like in an overtime setting offensively, we were running the ball well. And but obviously, maybe I should have.
So you're to Harden again. Last year you had a guy like Rashard, right, that you were able to use as like a workhorse. Do you see that potential with a guy like Harden if he's healthy to where you can rely on him even more? Because like last year having Rashard, it was a huge thing to have because he was a playmaker at all times.
Yeah, it's good to have a downhill run game, and he's that. He's physical. He gives us that presence. I think Tremico will be similar. And they have some explosion. We need Chris and Derek to get going to give us some explosion, give us some things on the perimeter. But yeah, I mean, I think he'll continue, if he's healthy, to show a lot of what he showed today.
Is there some frustration? Is there some frustration on the defensive side because the first half you had I think they went for it 3 or 4 times on 4th down. You stopped them. I think they were 1 for 3 on 4th down. So you were defense basically getting the ball turned over back to the offense. They're doing their job, and there's just by the 4th quarter, time comes around, they've on the field all that time. So the defense, I mean, really until the 4th quarter, played well enough. Like you said, they just didn't finish. Do you think there's some frustration there because their performance doesn't necessarily show on the stat sheet?
Frustration from me or the defense?
The defensive players.
I haven't asked them. I think there's probably frustration from everybody in our locker room that we lost. And I think we lost because defensively we didn't get stops when we needed to. Offensively, we didn't take advantage of some opportunities we had in the first half and in the second half that I've mentioned. They were on the field a lot. We got to get off the field on 3rd and 4th down collectively, not just a couple drives you're mentioning. And we did that some. I thought Baylor did a good job of being ahead of the chains a lot. They weren't in a lot of 3rd and longs. We were early in the first half anyways. But no, I don't think one side's more frustrated over the other. We had 2 one-play 75-yard touchdowns. That hurts your time of possession. That hurts your plays. And you look at the plays and go 67-94. Well, we were more explosive, but that hurt because 2 drives were 1 play 75 yards. So defense is going right back out there. But I don't think anybody's upset that we scored. And I think there was times when the offense did the right thing by milking the clock, running the football, and scoring to go up 38-24. So I'm not gonna give your bad question, in my opinion, any credibility.
What do you think bothered the defense in those last 2 drives? It looks like 18 plays. They went pretty quick, as you said. They were kind of marching methodically early. What bothered them, maybe tempo-wise, that they hadn't done earlier?
I don't think it was necessarily anything they hadn't done. They were in a different mode because they were almost in 2-minute mode, right? And we had played a lot of plays for what I just said, the reason. And now they're trying to go score. If you're Scott, you're trying to do the right thing by not giving them a cheap one, make them earn it, make them take time. That's the right thing to do. With 8 minutes, they're probably going to get 2 possessions unless they score really quick. But like I said, the biggest issue, we weren't able to get pass rush to him without potentially exposing ourselves to the big play touchdown, right? And they still scrambled and got a big one, unfortunately. And that's what probably hurt the most. But they're so good on offense. I mean, there's 4 or 5 playmakers out there, and Sawyer's a veteran guy. If he has that much time, he's going to dink and dunk you and get the 5, the 6, the 7, and then, of course, they got the big one, which really hurt. And then we still had the chance on the last drive on 4th and 3, 4, 2, somewhere in there to get off the field, win the game, and they made a great play. So they're really good offensively. We hung in there, but we just, as a team, we didn't finish it when we needed to. I mean, guys, we're up 38-24 with 8 minutes to go. Had taken control of the game, we didn't finish the game. There's a lot of questions that are all good. That's the story. That's the tagline. We didn't finish the game.
Thanks, guys.
Thank you, guys.